Hiya! Crudeless here, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play World of Warcraft Leveling Legacy. In the last episode, we came to the crossroads and we helped out these worgen visitors from Gilneas with fighting the worgen farmstead. Yeah, there's some corpse weed, and then we gave that to this guy over here at Raven Hill. And then we found this mysterious worgen down at the Adelstead, and he turned out to be Sven Jorgen of the Worgen farm. And he told us that jitters was the cause of the worgen infestation in Darkshire, or in Duskwood, more precisely, in the surrounding areas around Darkshire. So, why is the question that I'm asked at the end of the previous episode. I'm going to find out in this one, hopefully. So we're going to check out these quests, and then we're going to finish off Darkshire and Duskwood and everything in this area in today's episode. So let's talk to Oliver Harris. Success! Finally! I can't thank you enough for giving me the chance to work the cure myself. Our new friend may be in need of some help as well. You might want to speak with him. And then we got the quest for both Westfall and Duskwood. It's really strange, actually. You see that the Red Ridge quests, that was a complete zone achievement in itself, but then there is the total of Westfall and Duskwood for this achievement. That's 80 quests. Not sure why this one wasn't split in two, because this one is 50% of that one. Anyway, we're going to continue because we are not done with the zone, even though the achievement tells us we are. Let's talk to Sven Jorgen. Before I was lost to the woods, the last thing I remember is Morbent Fel. He was a vile necromancer, and the reason this land swarms with so many vile undead. That's the answer to that one. I asked an adventurer to help me put an end to him. I thought they did, but Sister Elsington tells me the land still crawls with ghouls and spectres ripped from the grave. Morbent Fel should have breathed his last in the house on Forlorn Row, north of Ravenhill Cemetery. Go there and see what's become of him. So he's referencing back to before Cataclysm, when a previous adventurer, which is us back in Vanilla, actually helped him out to fight off this necromancer, Morbent Fel. We need to find out what actually happened to him. But first, we want to help out Jitters here. There's another quest from Sister Elsington, sorry. Can you hear them, Thunderhand? There are so many of them. They wander their graves, shuffling across the cold ground on rotting limbs. The dead cry out in still air. They suffer in their own flesh, forced from sleep. Every night I venture to the graveyard to put more of them to rest, but it's never enough. Help me, Thunderhand, put the ghouls that swarm Ravenhill Cemetery out of their misery. Strike down as many as you can.
We are bound by a common enemy.
Yeah, that voice is a bit different from mine, but yeah, anyway, let's make our way to our right first, because we need to get some of these guys for Jitters, even though he seemed to be the cause of this worgen infestation. So, in a couple of seconds, just previously, we learned that the reason why the worgen are here, or not the reason, but the cause, at least, or the dude behind the cause, we don't know the actual cause yet. But we also learned why there are undead in the area, because of a necromancer. Now, there are many necromancers in the game, the most famous one being Kel'Thuzad, who aided the Lich King during the invasion of Quel'Thalas, disappeared there, and who was in Naxxramas in both the Eastern Plaguelands back in Vanilla, and also currently in Naxxramas in Northrend. They disappear because they go into stealth somehow, vanishing. And in the lore now, he is currently dead. Well, he was dead. He wasn't undead, so technically he has been dead for quite a while. But anyway. This guy, Morbent Fel, not close to being as powerful as Kel'Thuzad, though. But they are analogous. So let's get the last Widom Venom. Why does he need that? The jitters bug you find them all in the woods to the east, just north of the road. Strange. Anyway, we should probably go back and deliver this one. I think we'll get another quest that will take us somewhere else. Maybe along the ridge here, towards the left. This mysterious area in the middle as well is a place we might be able to go to. There, I think there is a quest leading there. If not, we're going to explore it regardless. And that's going to be fun because it is quite the special place. Oh yes, here we have this. Did you get it? Please tell me you got it. Oh, thank you. You've saved me from having to go out in the woods with those awful things, at least for a day, that is. I'm afraid, well, I'm just plain afraid, but I'm also sorry to have asked you for another favor. Master Harris needs brains, bear brains. They're part of a serum, apparently, or at least a proper substitute. There are plenty of black bears in the woods to the west and along the riverbank, but I can't do it. I'm terrified to go out there and face those huge things, even with a rifle. Please let me pay you to bring some back.
Have a good one.
Yes, we will take a look at those. There is one right over here. And it'll probably respawn. You can probably just kill it here. You don't have to go that far away. You can see the campfire. There was some owls here. We are going to take care of these. I think we have to explore the riverbank here as well. Yeah, the hushed bank. You can see there is a little camp up there. Oh, not sure if we are going to head up there. But anyway, I'm gonna just grab these while we're here. Then we're gonna head into the campfires, the graveyard, and these have actually a really small chance of dropping, so it's quite a dull quest, to be honest. Let's just kill these among the ridge. I want to check out what's happening over here at this small camp. Not sure if there is anything there anymore. There used to be. Maybe we'll be sent there eventually. Usually if there is a thing in the game, it does serve some purpose most of the time. It might be involved in a quest line that Blizzard has removed, might be involved with a quest line that we haven't unlocked yet, but most of the time it's what's it called again? When there is a novel or a film or a story, when they show something that seems insignificant, when you don't know what's going on with a certain item. I think it's called the Chekhov's gun. It's a reference to like a gun in a storyline, and they show the gun and talk about the gun, and then the gun is used eventually, and how you are supposed to introduce something to a story before you use it. Oh my god, I killed the rabbit. No. Yeah, there are some grave robbers, and then we have Marina the Cirrus here, a rare humanoid, so this is great. We're gonna get some nice loot from her, maybe. So these are grave robbers, and we did get some bear pants. Those are actually, yeah, they're not as good as ours, but they can probably be sold for some. We got enchant bracers previously. I could send that to an enchanter. Enchant my boats, baby. So we still need some bear asses, or sorry, bear brains. Not sure why they need bear brains to create a potion for worgen though, but anyway. Listen to the music here. So beautiful. Just gonna vary my attacks a bit just to show off the whirlwind from time to time. So currently I'm not really certain what the best rotation is for a low-level character, Fury Warrior like this one, since I haven't played a lot of Fury Warrior. So I should probably be using Fury Slash instead of Whirlwind, even though it does like twice the damage. Maybe I should just use Whirlwind instead of it. Can it rage us? No, it can't. But this one can increase the crit chance of Bloodthirst though, so... Anyway, let's kill this one. There we go. And then we should probably go and turn that one in. Let's head into take a look at what's happened with Morbent Fel first. As you can see, there are tons of ghouls here. These have risen from the dead. They've been risen by Morbent Fel, and we'll be able to use some of these AoE abilities, which is nice. As you can see, wow, amazing. Just slice around with our weapons and take care of these guys pretty easily. I love that. Oh, the sound is so satisfying. Oh. Luckily though, you can just kill these on the way. You don't have to farm them at the start. You will have to kill more of these guys as you move along. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I remember doing these quests back in the day. It used to be, well, fun. And over here there is a petal bat. What am I saying? A pet battle trainer. And he's a master tamer involved in a quest line. You can fight him here. Eric Davidson. Pretty creepy statue though. My god. That belt must have been the inspiration for some of the armor introduced later in the game. Huh. Interesting. He's holding some vines. Corpse weed maybe. We're supposed to move up here to this house. By the way, underneath here... Oh my god, look at that guy. The Tomb Guardian, Morbidius. He's level 25 elite. Oh. But yeah, underneath here there is a huge underground area. Some sort of monastery and crypts underneath. And when you approach this place, we get this amazing lighting. By the way, that's the tree inside this area here. But yeah, the atmosphere around this area is pretty amazing. I wished it was like this throughout the entire area of Duskwood. That would have been pretty awesome. Like this dark, eerie glow. Look at this. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. What's inside here? Let's go inside, guys. What's inside here? Oh! So far. Sounds like some sort of ASMR video. Listen to the voice going around here. We're gonna tap the ghoul on his back and kill him. And there is a hat. Blood-soaked hat. Remains of Morbent Fel. The fate of Morbent Fel. Let's make our way back here. Oh, and here is Morgan Ladimore attacking us. Morgan Ladimore used to be he is still an elite though. And he basically patrolled the area back in the day as well. Rotted One. That's what they're called. And I always used to mess up his name and Morbent Fel because they're so similar. Okay, let's get rid of some of this stuff. I think also that Abercrombie used to be over in a house or a shack down there to the left, to the right there. I think that was the case. But here we have a quest from a weathered grave. The weathered grave marker reads simply, Morgan Ladimore. That guy we just killed, by the way. Upon further examination, you notice that dirt over the grave has been recently disturbed, and that a good amount of the dirt seems to have been displaced. Yeah, speak with Seraphon in Darkshire. So we just actually spoiled that one quite a bit because Morgan Ladimore, more Ladim. Yeah. We need to kill 4 more ghouls. And I'm gonna head back to Ravenhill. Ooh. Let's take care of these. There was some spiders in this area. Those will be messing us up if we don't take care. Ooh. There we go. I also need to clear out my inventory now. It's pretty much filled up with trash. We did get this one though, the Shield of Darkshire, which we won't be using, but it has the crest of Stormwind on it, little lion. Pretty insignificant compared to other shields you can get though. Pretty bad model. You can see the clipping of my hand armor there going through the glove. But anyway, we should probably also throw away some of this or sell some of this stuff. Can't wait until we get back to Stormwind with this character to sell some stuff. Let's talk to the general goods vendor and sell some of this unnecessary food. Reagents. I think I'm also gonna sell the gold nuggets here, maybe. I'm gonna keep them around. Cries grow softer for now. Light bless you, Thunder Hand. Pretty nice. 29 currently, that's pretty amazing. His clothes and bloodstains. If it's not tricks, it's something worse. The others here share my suspicions. Morbent Fel lives on in undeath. And maybe even more powerful than before. A necromancer was struck down, but a lich may have risen in his place, and now he continues to ruin this land. I remember Duskwood before all of this, Thunderhand. I remember bright skies and peaceful woods. This can't stand. Morbent Fel must be stopped for good. Speak to Sister Elsington. Her vision might guide you to where Morbent Fel is, and how he can be defeated.
What can I do for you?
Did you get them? Did you? Thank you. Oh, thank you. I've never thought I'd be happy to smell those brains, but I am now. I don't have to get them. Here is your reward as promised.
Safe travels.
The Jittering Band. Let's equip that one instead of this one. Yeah, more strength is good. Let's sell this immediately. There we go.
Yes.
It's heartening to see one so recently recovered be so concerning with the plight of others. Even Sven spares himself, suffering by not dwelling on his own misfortune. Sven is correct. I can feel the presence of a powerful evil deep beneath the Ravenhill Cemetery. Evil lurks in its catacombs, and Morbent Fel must be the source. You will need the power of the light to strike him down, Thunderhand. Sven told me the heroes who first slew Morbent Fel wielded an artifact of light-forged iron, imbued with holy power. That artifact is still here. I can feel it as well. A glimmer of light amidst the darkness. Search Ravenhill for it, and let the light guide you through it.
Keep your chin up, eh?
Find the light-forged rod. So that one was the one thing he used against Morbent Fel to weaken him, because he had this shield around him, I think. It gave him invincibility, or at least he was an elite. He had to use it to reduce him to regular mob state. And now he can basically solo elites. But previously that used to be quite the feat. You could use it with... You could solo with hunters. Mages used to be really powerful as well, with Pompyro, as it's called. Used a spell that gave you instant cast for a new spell, and Pyroblast was a really powerful one. So you could... and it has a 6-second cast time or something like that. That's where he... Oh, a rare undead now. As you can see, this is Bride of the Embalmer. This was where Abercrombie used to be. Eliza is pretty. So pretty. I'm at level 30. Amazing. We did unlock a couple of zones, Razorfin Crawl and Moradin, but also we do get a couple of choices for our moves, talents. But yeah, that was his Bride of Abercrombie. Not sure if he stitched her together as well. Maybe he did. Ugh, disgusting to think about. We can choose to pick Shockwave, sends a wave of force in a frontal cone, causing 64 damage and stunning all enemies within 10 yards for 4 seconds. Cooldown reduced by 20 seconds if it strikes at least 3 targets. So a really nice AoE stun ability right there. Get Stormbolt, hurls your weapon at an enemy, causing 142 physical damage and stunning for 4 seconds. It does have a shorter cooldown though, 10 seconds shorter, and it does more damage. And then we have double time. Oh, there's the Lightforged Rod right there. Double time increases the maximum number of charges on charge, nice, and reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. And we currently have a cooldown of 20 seconds, so it'd be 17. You can charge twice. Pretty nice. Gonna pick that one. Really functional for leveling, movement, and stuff like that. And it'll also root the enemies, forcing them to stay in place. Let's take a look at Lightforged Rod though. Buried in the cold dirt, you find a brilliant metal shaft, but there are holes where pieces of the artifact are clearly missing. In front of you, the bare earth slopes down towards the dark entrance to the crypts. You can feel the tug of the Lightforged artifact urging you towards it. Perhaps the other pieces is down there. So you're gonna go down into the crypts below and find these. Ooh. So you could go into the other entrance, I think, but I think we're just supposed to go through here. Go through here, and then we're gonna kill some of these. It's really empty now. It used to be filled with monsters and ghouls and stuff, but now they're actually spawning as we go. I guess that's pretty cool. And we're supposed to go through here, and they will... Oh! Is there some sort of spawn thing? I guess they just keep spawning behind us, but no matter. We'll just use our whirlwind and we'll be fine. Here's another part. There we go. Ah, come on. In the dirt of this alcove, your eyes catches the shine of brilliant metal. You've found another piece of the artifact. You attach the arch to the rod and the arc to the rod, and the artifact is nearly complete. A large gap still sits at the center of the holy symbol's head. Once again, you feel a tug in your arms, urging you towards the hole in the wall and the winding tunnel ahead. The last piece must be through there. The hole in the wall. Oh, the hole in the wall. It's right here. Sorry for the hole in the wall right there. It's kind of saying the same into. What are these writhing terrors? The same intonation. As you can see, double time, really, really useful. There we go. In the darkest depths of this earthen tunnel, you spy the faintest gleam. The last piece is found. The pieces fit and the holy artifact is restored, gleaming with sacred light. This should let you defeat Morbent Fel's dark magic. Further down the tunnel, away from the direction you came from, a heinous cackle rings out. It's a clattering laugh of a lich. Morbent Fel is just ahead. Oh my god. Morbent Fel is just ahead. Oh. This is going to be fun, guys. We do have an artifact though. It's the first artifact we've found. Another. Maybe we need to grind some artifact power to make it more powerful. But here we see some more of these. These have a special model. We haven't seen this one yet. They are kind of necromantic wraiths. Skeletons. Pretty creepy models as well. They are mages that are turned undead. And here we see Morbent Fel. He has the same shield around him that he used to have, I think. He's a lich. Now, the thing about liches is that they are Kel'Thuzad, as I talked about previously in the episode. He was also a lich. And to kill a lich, you have to destroy their phylactery. Because their soul is actually stored in it, so they are tied to a specific item. This gives them the ability to keep dying and resurrecting, of course, but they're also severely weak to having that item destroyed. Liches used to be a hero class, or a hero, back in Warcraft 3. As we kill him, all of these guys die. We can move up this way. Even though these worms are still around, though. So you can see this place is cleared out now that we killed him, because his life, or his undeath, is tied to the lives of all of these guys. Maybe that Bone Guard is dead as well. The whole... Yeah, he's gone at least. The Guardian we saw previously, guarding this place. The huge elite, he was gone now as well. But yeah, but these guys are still walking around, of course, because the phasing doesn't take care for those. So what was I talking about? Yeah, we were using artifact power. This is the first artifact we have. A holy artifact created from the Lightforged iron. The Lightforged set was also, in fact, a set used by the Paladins back in... it was tier 0.5 or 0.5, I think. It was before tier 1. May the disgusting monster stay dead this time. I'll head down there and scatter his remains to ash myself, Thunder, and you've done a great thing. Perhaps in time, Duskwood can return to its former peaceful state. We found the Fel Bane belt. Amazing belt. Nice. Now, we're supposed to head back to Darkshire now. And I'll see you guys then. Because we have one last quest to deliver, and that is the one to Sira von Indi in Darkshire. He's right here. I've seen it a couple of times. The historian.
Greetings.
Morgan Ladimore. Ah, yes, of course. His was a long and sorrowful tale. I knew him well before he left for the war, but that was the last time I saw him. A noble and good man he was, but he suffered a bad end. Here I should have something here that can tell the tale better than my own recollections. He searches through the shelves and comes up with a leather-bound book. If you would like to know more, you might ask Althea. She's been the one to handle the trouble with him of late. Huh, the trouble. Let's have a chat with Althea. Yeah, we have her. Morgan Ladimore. Never heard of. Oh, you mean Morla Dim? I guess you haven't heard the story. Well, I'll give you the short version. The powerful undead calling himself Morgan Ladimore, has been wandering Duskwood. From what we've gathered, it appears to be the undead body of Morgan Ladimore, of whom you apparently know. He's been causing us all sorts of problems, stacking watchmen on patrol and killing people. She sizes you up. You seem to be capable enough. Maybe you should lay him to rest. We got the book now, so you can read the story. From what the scouts tell me, Morgan Ladimore wanders throughout Duskwood, following a strange and meandering path through the cemetery. We buried him out past the house of the hill. You know where that is? There isn't anything I can help you with, but I wish you good luck.
Safe travels.
So this is actually a group quest, just as players 3. We have already killed this guy, so we are more than sufficiently equipped to deal with him. Let's take a look at this book. While we are flying, this is the story of Morgan Ladimore. Ooh, yes, this is some good stuff. So much lore hidden in this place, and it's so contained as well. It's self-contained. Let's take a look at the book. Morgan Ladimore was a great and noble knight who fought in defense of the innocent, the poor, and the afflicted. For many years, he worked diligently throughout the outlying areas of Azeroth, bringing relief to the suffering and swift justice to the evildoers. He was married to a young girl named Liz in the summer of his 18th year. They were much in love with each other, and would eventually produce 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. Morgan was 32 when war broke out in Lordaeron. Morgan was called to the side of the legendary paladin Uther the Lightbringer to fight against the orcs and the undead. Leaving his wife and children in the safety of his home, Morgan left for war. The years passed, and the war dragged on, and Morgan would witness many horrific events, including the disbanding of the Paladins of the Silver Hand, the death of Uther, and the spread of the plague. The only thing that kept him from the brink of madness was the knowledge that he would someday be reunited with his wife and children. Morgan would eventually return to his homeland, but find it nothing like how he remembered it. The once verdant forest was corrupted and teemed with the undead and other dark forces. Destroyed houses and farms could be found everywhere, and the cemetery near Ravenhill now dominated much of the area. A shocked and bewildered Morgan eventually made his way to his home, only to find it in ruins. Not knowing what had befallen his homeland, he headed towards the village to find answers, and he hoped his wife and children. Morgan inquired about his family, but could not find any answers. A priest in Darkshire, as it was now called, said that he might search the cemetery at Ravenhill for a gravestone. Morgan refused to believe that his family was dead, and continued to search every farm and house in Duskwood, but to no avail. Morgan rode from Darkshire to nearby Lakeshire, thinking that perhaps his family had fled. On his way there, he decided against his better judgment to stop by the Ravenhill Cemetery. Morgan spent hours walking among the gravestones. He recognized many names of people that he once knew and became more and more distraught. Then he saw them, a small, untended plot amongst the many with 3 small gravestones. A feeling of dread washed over him as he approached. Morgan brushed off the dust of the most prominent gravestone to reveal the name on it, simply carved upon the grave. Letters spelled out his worst fear. Liz Ladimore, beloved wife and mother. Morgan's apprehension turned to dismay and then to grief, and he fell to his knees weeping. For hours he stared at that one grave, begging the cold stone for forgiveness and sobbing apologies. Then hours later something in him snapped, and he began to lash out. He brought his sword out of his scabbard and began to rain blows on the gravestone, screaming in rage. Blind in his fury, he lashed out and swung wildly, catching the notice of a trio of the cemetery's attendants. As they tried to restrain him, he turned his focus onto them, hurling accusations of guilt upon the innocent attendants, and killed them all. There he is in front of us. Later, when the rage had passed, realization crept into Morgan's mind, and he saw his bloody sword driven into the chest of one of the attendants. Driven to the brink by his emotions, he removed his belt knife and plunged it into his heart. Morgan Ladimore's body and the 3 bodies of his victims were found. The next day he was quickly buried, without ceremony, in a hastily dug grave on the outskirts of the cemetery, because Morgan committed murder against innocents, something that went completely against his beliefs and his nature, and because of the grief that he held being unable to save his family. Morgan could not die a peaceful death and lived on as one of the restless dead. Only days later his grave was disturbed and his body could not be found. The being that was Morgan now wanders Duskwood, consumed by his grief over the loss of his wife and children, and his own self-hatred. Morgan Ladimore, as he now calls himself, roams Duskwood with mindless vengeance and hatred, and has been known to commit murder indiscriminately. And now we have his skull. So that's the story of Morgan Ladimore. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was quite the long one, but it does really fit the end of the storyline here in Darkshire, or in Duskwood. So I'll see you guys back when we turn in the quest in Darkshire. Let's deliver the quest to Commander Althea.
What can I do for
I don't blame you if you are having trouble with him, Thunderhand. Some of our strongest watchers have been lost to Morgan Ladimore. You killed him. That's no small accomplishment, Thunderhand. On behalf of the people of Darkshire and the Night's Watch, I thank you. There is one small matter, however. I should have told you this earlier. How do I put this? Morgan may have believed that his family was all dead, but in fact his daughter Sarah Ladimore is now a watcher. She's always been troubled by the circumstances surrounding her father's death. Perhaps you could bring the news to her.
Farewell. Need help?
Yes, my father. Her eyes become downcast. I wish there was something I could have done for him. If only I'd talked to him before he... Here, take this and lay it on his grave. Maybe somehow he'll know that I'm okay. That none of us hold him responsible for what happened. There are tears in her eyes now as she slides the ring from her right hand and presses it onto his hand, into your hand. And thank you, Thunderhand.
Be careful.
We're heading back all the way again. So this requires a lot of traveling, but it is so worth it at the end. It's so worth it. What is going on here? It's a multibot! Now we've seen that as well. You forgot one though. You forgot this one. And here we are at the grave of Morgan Ladimore. Leave me be. A ghostly voice sounds in the wild on the wind. This is Sarah. Could it be she's still alive? The weight is removed from my shoulders. Thunderhand, take my sword, Arceus. As my soul is put to rest, I have no more need for it. It was forged to do good, and I thought I had proved myself unworthy to hold it. Perhaps you can carry the light through it. Bliss, my love. My sword Arceus served me well in life, but as at last my spirit may pass from the unhappy existence, I need it no longer. I shall cling to the love of my daughter and hope that I will find forgiveness under the light for my sins. That's what it said there. And we did get his weapon. Restored Arceus. Looks like a pretty standard weapon, similar to ours, but with the lore behind this one, yeah, pretty dark. There's one more area that we have to visit though. We are going to head into this grove in the middle. Now to get into the grove here, you have to make your path over towards the middle, right here. And then there is a path along the ridge lit up by these small candles and torches along the road. So we've got to take our way up here and then we're going to see what lies inside. There is a moon well. We've seen this thing, or not a moon well, but an archway that looks really similar to Night Elf architecture. What is this doing in the middle of what? The Twilight Grove. And suddenly you are feeling like you're back in Darnassus. This is the Twilight Grove, and it is one of the several areas where you will find a huge tree, and these trees are important for the Emerald Dream. We heard about the Emerald Dream when we did the quests in... Look at this, looks amazing. When we did the quests in let's turn off the camera here, there we go, the UI. We did the quests with the worgens. The worgens were, of course, banished to the Emerald Dream. And we heard about it when we did the Night Elves quest. The druids sleep in the Emerald Dream. They go into the world there through the portals, or through the sleeping, as they're calling it. But there are several ways to get into the Emerald Dream. And this area used to be, is one of many areas with such a tree like this one. There is one up here in the hinterlands, right here. As you can see, there's one up in like they're pretty well spread out. There's one here, one down there, and then we also have one here and one here as well. There is one in Ashenvale, and there's one in ferocious, as they're called. And there's also a great tree in Crystal Song, I think, and another one in Grizzly Hills, I believe, as well. And this one used to be a portal where there was a raid boss that spawned. An emerald dragon that was corrupted by the emerald nightmare. An old god-infested version of the Emerald Dream. The blueprint of how the world was supposed to turn out. It's been infected. We'll learn more about that in the Legion playthrough. So check that one out if you haven't seen that one to learn more about this. And you can actually see this in the dungeon journal if you go to the Legion gameplay here and check out the raid for the Emerald Nightmare. The Emerald Dream was created by the Titans as a blueprint for Azeroth itself, a verdant and perfect mirror that reflects the state of nature, had it remained unspoiled by so-called civilization. For many years, the druids and keepers who are closest to the nature have noticed signs of an unsettling presence stirring within the dream. Spurred on by the Legion and Nightmare, Lord Xavius, that creeping corruption has now burst forth and will engulf all of Azeroth if not rooted out of its at its source. So this is like the raid in the Legion. But one of the bosses is called the Dragons of Nightmare. And this boss, well, there are 4 of these dragons here. And these used to be Emerald Dragons back in, with another model, of course, back in Vanilla. They were removed from these trees. They used to spawn here randomly at each of the different trees. And you had to make a raid to kill them and take them down. You got raid tier loot there, so that was pretty amazing. World bosses. So those were called Lethon. You had Isondre. She's still in the game in Cataclysm. We'll meet her eventually. The others were removed until they return in Legion. We have Emeris, Lethon, and Tyrar. And those were spawned out here of these portals in these great trees, connections to the Emerald Dream, or the Emerald Nightmare, depending on how you see things. Yeah, so this is pretty much the end of Darkshire. And what am I saying? I always say Darkshire here, but Duskwood, Darkshire Ravenhill, and what went down in the dark forest south of Stormwind. I hope you guys enjoyed this zone. In the next episode, we will continue on to another character, and we'll be doing a tangential zone exclusive to the Horde. So I hope you guys enjoy that, as we have spent a lot of time with this guy, but we won't be seeing him for quite a while, but we will soon enough, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to check out the links to the playlist right after the end of this video for both the Legion playthrough and for Leveling Legacy. I've been Crudless, thank you so much for watching the video. See you guys next time.